That's right. It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. And the Titans trust their home stadium to Lee Company to tackle their heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical problems. And they can protect your home, too. Your next play, visit leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. Listen, it's not about the wins or the losses. It's about the friends we made along the way. And I'm joined by my friends, Blaine, the Hitman Bishop, and Buck Rising over here.
What up?
It is, let me say something. It's going to be a little bit warmer, but it is 59 degrees.
Yes.
59 degrees, and Blaine is wearing gloves.
Yes. I have the cold hands, especially sitting in the shade, Kirby, and we're going to be sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's breezy.
This is beautiful football weather.
Well, you're more closer to graduating college where you just wear a little hoodie and shorts and walk around campus when it's 60 and the sun. Man, it's warm.
Shorts out here is crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Short season.
My son left just like how you look. I was like, where are you going? Right. So, hey, man, I got it. We sitting, chilling. Hey, I'm relaxing.
I'd be like Ben Jones and Matt Collins. I'd be barefoot on the field.
Yeah, I just want everybody to say, hey, Blaine, why does Blaine have on gloves at 60? Yeah. Hands get cold.
The difference is he gets to go home after this. You and I are here for a considerable amount of time.
Well, technically, I go to the studio.
I see.
So I don't go home. I go to the studio.
But
Are you sitting with the fans today?
I am. I'm going to go in on the street my way through Nissan Stadium. I'm going to go.
With your outfit, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But I don't. If I'm going to do this, I'm not going to
jack off.
Schlub it.
Off, yeah.
What's that?
Good morning. I'm gonna go ask people who are attending today's game, though they be few and far between based on the scene in front of us at Gate 3, why they are still coming to games and what gives them optimism, if anything, for the future, and just kind of take the temperature of where things are at right now at 1-8 coming off the bye week, because God knows covering the game isn't going to matter to them.
Well, I think it's because Zach said they're going to win.
They're going to win. I'm feeling good. I mean, ride with me here. They're coming off a bye week. This team's going to win.
They got to cross the 50 to win.
Davis Mills as a starter against the Titans is 1-2.
Oh,
so there you go.
Okay,
wow, there's so much data there.
That's a lot of day. Hey, listen, I'm sorry he can't keep a job, but he's a backup.
Yeah,
but hey,
guess what? He's better than any backup on our team.
Yeah, but luckily we don't have to play the backups on our team.
Well, you just not. Where's Wood at? Knock on some wood around here.
What do you mean? They're all backups at this point.
Right.
Well, not the starters. I mean, Cam Ward and all them.
Sure.
Yeah, you're saying Cam Ward is a backup?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. How about this? Is Cam Ward better than Mills?
No.
See?
I think so.
No.
Potentially.
He's more talented.
Yes.
Yeah, he's more talented.
He's not a better NFL quarterback.
I played a lot of
who has the better coaches?
Oh, the Texans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the coach staff.
I mean, D'Amico Ryans is definitely a better head coach.
Well, yeah, but that's because the head coach is just kind of biding his time until the axe falls for him next.
It won't. I mean, I'm just saying, I think this Titans team coming out of the bye is going to surprise some people. May not be today, but I'm feeling good about today. I'm feeling good today.
How do you say that in the same sense? It may not be today, but you're picking them.
I'm just saying they are going to win at least 2 or 3 more games, and here's why. Here's why.
Absolutely.
Here's why.
I
because the Tennessee Titans are going to find a way to make sure that they do not get the best situation for themselves in the draft. That's just what his history has told us. This Tennessee Titans team is going to get some wins.
I mean, we just got number 1.
Yeah.
So last year.
Yeah, but that took luck. That took the Giants and the Patriots doing insane victories at the end.
No, not insane victories. It took the Bills playing no defense at all against Joe Milton and allowing him to go down the field because, no, we're not going to let the Patriots have the number 1 pick. Are you kidding me? Like they needed it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, I think it's going to happen today. I'm feeling pretty good. The weather is too nice not to enjoy a Titans victory today.
No, it's a beautiful day to come see a football game, and it's certainly not going to be expensive to get in. Yeah. So if you're thinking about it, 2 hours. Listen, it's not the cheapest ticket in the NFL. The cheapest ticket in the NFL today is $6 for Browns hosting the Ravens. So the Titans aren't at least the worst when it comes to a price point standpoint. I think last I saw it was around $16. to get in today before fees. So if you want to pay...
Are the fees more than the tickets?
You took time to do research on this?
No, buddy. Somebody tweeted us.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me? No. Somebody did the legwork for me, as is typically the case.
It was CJ, wasn't it?
No. I'm still waiting for CJ to provide me something of value.
Stop it. Like, don't do that. Man, he's just leg whipping everybody today, man.
I feel good. The weather's nice. I got my coffee. I'm feeling good today.
Kind of give us a taste, since we have a lot of fans listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of questions are you going to be asking the fans while you are commingling with the fan base?
Yeah, so I've got a list of 9 questions here, and I try not to skew the sample size, I guess, because I'm going to go to the 300s. I'm going to talk to some folks who are waiting in line before they go into the stadium today. I'm going to go out and talk to some people.
Well, the people at 300, just tell them to move down to the 200s.
Well, they'll have no problem.
They'll move down to the 100s at this point.
I've never actually been.
Get you a good sideline view.
I've never been up there, so I'm not sure how to get up there. We're going to figure that out in real time. But I'm going to make my way up to the 300. So what I'm going to ask them is their name and their age, how long they've been a Titans fan, how did they become a Titans fan, what's your best memory as a Titans fan, what's your worst memory as a Titans fan, why did you come to the game today, what's your current approval rating of the people who are running the team, and did you get tickets for the new stadium, and what's your biggest reason for hope beyond this season? So I felt like that was a pretty good balance of, not skewed one way or the other, and I will try not to influence the results.
Can I add a 10th question?
You may.
What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you in the 300s?
Have you been diagnosed with? Well, listen, that's what I'm saying. But those are the people I want to talk to.
They're going to say because they believe they're going to win this game.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Well, listen, I'm with them.
That's what they can say.
I'm with the people of the 300s.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and sit up there with them in the 300s then today if you want to be with the people.
I can't. I get vertigo.
It's a little colder up there too.
Yeah. Oh, my hair is not going to do well up there. I'm not looking forward to that. I am. So I'm gonna. I want to understand on a more granular level than just the people, and it's nothing against the people on social media or the people who just call us or things like that, but these are the people that are actually here, right? So this is the most condensed version of the fan base that we'll have the opportunity to interact with, and we obviously interact with fans and
true Titans fans,
actual Titans fans that are still showing up for this nonsense. So we're going to go see if they're diagnosable, and we'll see if if they have some thoughts on the matter. I don't know what honest to God, I have no idea how that's going to go today.
I don't want to add a question, but I want to ask you a question.
You may.
Who are you a fan of? I'm going to just say IU basketball. And so when they were bad, because everybody has a down take. I'm from Indiana. I know. Yep. When they were bad, did you go to a game or did you still cheer for them?
Yep. I watch every game.
Support them?
Yep.
So are you?
Well, I do support them. I wanted Mike Woodson fired 17 different times.
Yeah, right. Because he just was horrible, huh?
Dusty old man, just get out of there. Every time I see them make a three now, and I think about the lack of three-point attempts that were taking place under Mike Woodson in the modern game of college basketball, I curse his name again.
Oh, so who you want? Steve Alford?
No, I'm fine with. We'll see what happens with DeVries. Steve Alford wasn't really in the running for that job.
I know, which was surprising. I thought he should have been. They should have handed him the job.
Yeah, so
I think he's in the top 10 of winningest coaches, by the way.
So Steve Alford had great success at UCLA during his time there. But to your point, Blaine, that's the one team that I'm a fan of. I'm a diehard fan of Indiana basketball, and so I will watch every game, even if I don't agree with what they're doing or even if I don't support the direction that they're heading in, because that's the team that I care about. Now, I'm going to be critical of them, and God knows if I was a Titans fan, I would be way tougher on them than I already am, because if I was actually invested in this, oh my God, beyond showing up and doing our jobs and things like that, it would be
but that's part of being a fan.
The level,
right?
Well, you earn that, you deserve that. If you pay, and I do, I can't go to as many games. Obviously, Blaine,
right, of course,
living here. But during the combine, I'd go down to Bloomington on a Tuesday night or something like that while my sister was still in school. We'd catch a game, and so I try to go when I can. But yeah, to your point, if you are committed to a thing, to a team, you go and you show up and you watch and you keep tabs of things, even if you are fundamentally unhappy with the way that things have been handled.
Yeah, the worst thing you can have is apathy, right? Yeah. Like if your fan base has apathy, you kind of get no tailgates, right?
So is that where we're at with the Titans fan base?
Yeah,
I think
they clearly have done away with the tailgate.
Right.
This is the second straight week that there is no team-sponsored
Instead, we
tailgate
got like
situation.
people like busking over there
Is
later
that
today.
Is that the bus of the other team or no?
I don't know, but they are having a hell of a time getting to wherever they need to go.
They're like backing up. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is impressive.
It's a bit of a cluster, it seems.
Look,
Yeah.
look who's in. the
Oh,
middle
look,
of this,
Kirby. Kirby's directing
oh my
everybody.
Gosh. Where is the security? I mean,
Kirby is the
what are they
security.
doing?
I mean, I do think that there is a large section of the fan base, or maybe not a large section, but a good chunk of it, that is just like, get me to the draft, get me to the offseason, because this is just kind of miserable.
But I don't want to talk to those people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not
Right.
like, not to denigrate them. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care about that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And obviously, we will keep tabs of how things are tracking for the number 1 overall pick and who the Titans should be thinking about and the trade options that are available to them and what other teams are looking at around them as far as the quarterback situation as a part of our jobs. But like, for my purposes today, I don't care about the people that are actively preying on this team's downfall for draft capital.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like we kind of talked about it on cover, too. I don't know if you guys have touched on it, but like, I think you want this team to get some victories just for, I guess, mental health reasons. I mean, like, but you need these young players that are going to be here next year and the year after need to learn how to start winning. And I think that's a little bit more valuable than getting the number 1 overall pick at this point, because you already got your franchise quarterback. Now, if you didn't have your, well, I'll put, quote, franchise quarterback. That's
We're
what
still
we project.
learning. We're still learning.
But, I mean, you don't need the first overall pick for a quarterback. So that's where I kind of am like, you need to learn how to win, and these guys need to get some victories under their belts heading into next season, because you need positive momentum. You don't need all this negative momentum carrying over like it carried over last year.
I'm probably in the middle on that. I don't mind them losing as long as they're progressing, understanding where you're at.
Yeah.
All right, so we're a rebuilding team. Finally, that is consensus, right? You know, amongst the organization. So now is what you're trying to do is develop your young core players, let them continue to develop. If that happens in winning games at this point in time, great. But if it doesn't, I want to see you guys continue to progress. Reason why is because I want to see who's going to play like the ultimate hair on fire in this game. And it's going to tell me a little bit about their character, win, lose, or draw.
Yep.
Guess what? Wins are going to happen when you get the whole staple of good players on your team, and you'll start winning games. You'll start believing, knowing that you're going to win games. But in this instance, where they are at now, I want to see who's going to keep fighting a good fight and continue to develop and grow and come in and still get there at 5, 6 a.m. and stay afterwards. And then eventually it'll show in games. Now, they may be limited in talent as far as the core young players, but you want to see them progress. Then you'll know going into next year what they actually are, because you got to think they may take another tick up, but how much? And then what you need to add to the team. So winning, to me, is probably one of the final steps, because this team is not a really good team.
Except for today when they win. All right, coming up next, we'll talk more about what Blaine had to say. We'll talk more about the young players, what we need to see from this team. This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone. It's the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. And today's broadcast is brought to you in part by SA Recycling. SA Recycling reminds you to be a good fan this game day and look for recycle bins in and around Nissan Stadium. I'm Zach Lyons. We got Blaine the Hitman Bishop, and we have Buck Rising here as well. We're live outside of Gate 3 here at Nissan Stadium for Titans versus Texans. And I got some more positivity.
The end zone boys are here, though,
We got
man.
we got MCD. We got the whole squad.
They said they're not scared of Buck's questions because they are only Titans fans. Yeah,
I got some positivity for you guys. As you know, as 104.5 The Zone's president of positivity, I got some positivity.
Are you now? Is that an elected position?
Are you gambling on this too, baby?
Hey, listen, Titans money line. It's done. So this is from Easton Freeze. And he says, the Titans begin the second half of their season today following the bye. Many fans expect them to do nothing but lose. He was curious about how teams have started 1-8 or worse after the bye. He says, in the Super Bowl era, 111 teams have started 1-8 or 0-9. Only 14 of them, 12.6%, failed to win another game.
Oh, wow.
The majority, 60.3%, won at least 2 more games down the stretch.
Okay.
The most common outcome was exactly 3 more wins. So what did I say earlier? 2 or 3 more wins down the stretch. I'm feeling it.
No.
I'm feeling it. It's happening.
No.
It's happening.
I love that for you, but, I mean, this is the worst football team in the sport by a mile. Like, it's quantifiable on every level.
We're worse than the Saints?
They're worse than the Saints.
Okay. I know they got
do
another
the Titans
win.
have a Chris Olave out there?
No.
I would say not. Calvin Ridley is coming back today, and we'll talk about that at some
You're
length.
talking about individuals. We're talking about the team.
Yeah, but you know, as far but to your point, Blaine, about wins come when you have more talented players. The Saints do have players.
Is their quarterback better than ours?
Smaller sample size. I would not say that Tyler Shuck is better than Cam Ward. I would
do
say
it, Blaine. You know I don't like Tyler Shuck.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That's why I'm asking him.
I certainly not as talented as Cam Ward, but again, there's a difference between talent and skill.
Yes.
And Cam Ward is working his way through the talent portion to become a more skilled player, and we're still awaiting the results of that. Now, how much difference can it make in the next 8 weeks? Suppose we'll F around and find out here as we work our way through the rest of the season. But as far as this team goes, it's something that I think if you are looking for wins on the schedule, can you tell me a single game that they would be favored in?
Just the Saints, because it's going to be at home.
They are not going to be favored against the Saints according to offshore betting, because we had Robert look this up on the show earlier this week. The Saints would either be a 3-point road dog or a 2.5-point road dog against the Titans should those two teams play today. Now, that's a Week 17 game, so we'll see what that looks like down the stretch. The Titans are welcome to show something that they haven't shown. They're coming. I mean,
when they beat the Texans, they'll be favored.
They had a bye, so obviously we did not see them last weekend. But when we last saw this team play, they were competitive against the Chargers. They took advantage of a bad Chargers offensive line, and they made Justin Herbert work for it at the end of the day. But ultimately, they were able to. The Chargers were able to outlast the Titans because, again, the talent margin between those two teams is significant, as is the coaching. So I understand that there is historical evidence that would say it is more likely than not that they would win additional games. I don't think that the teams that they are going to play, even the basement dwellers, are worse teams or could be worse teams on any one given day than the Tennessee Titans.
Well, they could, some things could happen too looking down the road, but to your point, some injuries to some other key players on other teams on the schedule. Let's say if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, going against their backup, I don't even know who their backup is. Does that give them a better shot maybe at home or on the way? I have no idea. But right now it's hard to believe that they're going to win a game until you see them win a game. I mean, that's just the only way I can see it to me is they win this game, I'll be super excited. Let's build on this. They don't, I'm kind of, that's what I expect. Like at this point in time, I just, the leadership skills where they need it, where they have some leaders, guys are injured, underperforming, when I'm referencing Ridley.
Yeah.
And then Cam Ward's still growing. I mean, there's sometimes you say, oh, man, he does some great things out there, like a veteran quarterback, and then some other things you just say, he should have threw the ball out of bounds. You know, like I watched Arch Manning scramble to the right. He should have just threw the ball out of bounds. Well, Cam Ward does the same thing. He's in the NFL. He should know to throw the ball out of bounds. You're 2 yards from out of bounds. Just throw it out. You're outside the pocket. You could just throw it out of bounds.
Sometimes he was just inches from out of bounds. Just throw it out.
So I'm just
flick it out there.
Don't take the sack. I mean, that's lost. You know, because once they get started behind the chains, it's just negativity for them, and I don't think they even have belief enough until they do it. Once they get behind the chains on offense, that they can overcome it. Other teams do, but guess what? More talented and better teams.
Yeah, I do think that this team is obviously so a little bit of it is a bit, but I do think this team is going to win 2 or 3 games just because I just feel it.
Well,
I have no way.
Say so.
Yeah, I have no way to
you're
really.
A numbers guy, so
well, I mean, I guess that's true. I was about to say I have no way to quantify it, but apparently I do now.
Numbers,
but it's just a feeling I had where I'm just sitting there during the bye week. I'm like, I think this team's going to come out and look a little different. Maybe it's just the Chargers game made me think, okay.
That was surprising, by the way.
No Big Jeff in that game, no Calvin Ridley in that game. Those are at least somewhat levels of reinforcements coming to this team.
They did lose both their tackles.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
I don't know.
I mean, James Lynch is out there for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, I'm not saying James Lynch is a bad player, but obviously, Big Jeff being back is going to be huge, and we saw Big Jeff have the quickest sack in history against this Texans team.
Oh, he was.
And they were with this Texas team with C.J. Stroud 6-0 heading into the fourth quarter in the scoreboard. Then the dam broke loose. So can they keep the dam from breaking loose today? That's really the question when you go up against Davis Mills. And I hope that at least if they lose, I hope that Cam Ward looks good, or at least better than Davis Mills, because I would hate for the narrative to be around this team all week is like, well, Davis Mills looked better than Cam Ward.
What do you mean when you say that, though? What do you mean he looks better? You're talking about statistically?
I'm just talking about on the field.
I think people are really discrediting David Mills.
That's what I'm saying. I fully expect him to look better.
Quarterback, man.
I'm just saying I want him to look better. I'm not saying he will look better. I just want him to look better because I don't want the narrative to be all week on the radio. Well, Cam Ward's a bust because he doesn't even look as good as Davis Mills.
Well, that's stupid, first and foremost.
Those are fans. That's not on the radio. We're just addressing it on the radio.
Yeah. we will get calls to that effect, but that does not make it accurate. No, those are two different things for sure. I fully expect Davis Mills to look more like a professional quarterback.
Right.
How many years is Davis Mills in? 4, 5?
I think 5.
At this point in time, of course he's going to look more like a professional quarterback than a guy who's played 9 games so far.
Yeah.
So that's you can make it an indictment of Cam if you want to, and there will be criticism. There are fair criticisms of Cam Ward.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying that he's been underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like he's not in a great situation. There are some things that have fallen short relative to expectation. They've played a difficult degree of schedule relative to the defense that they've faced. They've faced the Colts twice. They've seen the Rams. They've seen obviously the Texans, the Broncos. These are good football teams at the end of the day. In fact, through 10 weeks, they played the number 1 strength of schedule. So it's a rookie quarterback on a football team who's struggling with a variety of different things. But there are some things where he is also limiting their ability to win. He is not absolved of all of this. And it's understandable, it's explainable why it's happening.
Yeah.
But to say, well, Cam Ward's not the problem here, or Cam Ward isn't contributing to some of the problems that they have would be disingenuous.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, when you're the quarterback, you're always part of the solution or the problem because you have the hands on the football, each and every play on offense anyway. So, I'm just interested to see how they come out after a bye week. Because typically you got a little more juice, a little more energy, and the coaching staff has done a little bit more, digging deep into the other team and maybe finding some things early on. So I think they must start fast in this game to get up a little bit to kind of even level playing field because you're going to have some extra juice because you haven't been playing for a week, but you must be careful of turnovers.
Yeah.
Typically, you get a little sloppy early on in the game. So I want to see if they get past that hurdle, being a young team, and then see where we're at. And then I think, it could be a contest all the way to the end.
The Texans defense, and speaking of turnovers, Texans defense is the 4th best in the NFL at turning the ball over. What was interesting, though, is that the Titans and Texans have the same number of sacks, the defense, same number of sacks and the same number of quarterback pressures, surprisingly enough, which is speaking to the good job that I feel like Denard Wilson has really done this year. And it was a little bit of an iffy start here and there, but I think with the pieces that he's been forced to play, he's done a really good job. And, you know, I mean, we'll see how it is today because Nico Collins, you know, up
how many
against
players
Jalen
are missing?
David.
5 guys that were starters at the beginning of the season that's not out there?
For the Titans defense?
Yeah.
Draymond Jones, Roger McCreary, Jarvis Brownlee, L'Jarius Sneed. Who am I missing?
Well, we could say Simmons been out the last couple. I mean,
Simmons is expected to play today. But
no Xavier Woods and no Quandre
Xavier
Diggs.
Woods.
Okay.
Xavier Woods and Quandre Diggs.
So big Kevin Winston
Diggs
Jr.
was
day.
a starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's man, that's tough to do. I don't care. Good team, bad team. That's
Sweat
impressive.
and Big Jeff have only
Sweat?
played like two games together.
Sweat
So,
went out there for them.
so like as soon as you got Sweat back, Big Jeff's on the shelf.
Man, it just
just speaks to the good job that I feel like Denard Wilson's been doing. A very underrated storyline is, you know, we don't know who the next head coach is going to be, but I think the next head coach may give serious consideration, depending on who they are, to Denard Wilson, keeping Denard Wilson
you
around.
To do a little bit of that. I think we all know Fossil's they're going to try to do everything they can to keep him.
Yeah.
You know, Wilson being in his second year has shown, let's say, has fared good with the tools he's been given, considering. That's what you have to say now. Typically, that doesn't say, he's going to be the DC next year, but you got to give him credit where credit's due with playing under man there. That is, wow.
Isn't it crazy that the Tennessee Titans had the number 1 overall pick? That means they were the worst team in the NFL last year, and they get saddled with the number 1 toughest strength of schedule through the first 10 weeks. Isn't that that's insane bad luck for this team?
We knew it was going to be tough.
The NFL sabotaged the Titans.
We knew the first 4 weeks were going to be bad, but we didn't know.
Come on, Buck. I want to hear your response.
I mean, I don't think anybody expected the Patriots to be as good as what they are. So, like, that's an extra. That's a team that you did not expect to be sitting on top of the NFL in record and how they look and how they play that you thought would be a much easier game when you first look at the schedule.
Yeah, but the thing that had, among several things that has fallen short of expectation, is this team did not take a step forward as far as the coaching situation. Obviously, with Brian Callahan, and listen, Brian Callahan is not the only person to blame for some of the flubs that they have, though he was the head coach and shouldered the vast majority of that burden at the time. But the coaching was not sufficient. The offensive line that they invested in did not pan out in the early going against that tough strength.
So the Callahan family sabotaged the Titans.
Yeah, it's a lot of sabotage going on around here. They would love to believe that in the building, I'm sure. But it's a circumstance where, yes, there are a number of different things that you just assumed because you could not imagine, and you figure you do enough of these seasons where you stop saying, well, it can't get worse. No, it can. It can always get worse. But you did not think, given the struggles and the areas that the Titans struggled in last year, that those things would fall short of what they were able to do or not do last year. That the fact that this is an appreciably worse team than a team quarterbacked by Will Levis is and it's not, it's not like,
and we don't even get memes.
We don't get memes. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got the dad meme. We've got the picture of his dad hunched over in the stands in Denver.
Look like he's about to have a heart attack.
Who could blame him?
Not even the banana peels. Is that what? Didn't he eat a banana? What did he do?
Eat the banana with the peel fully on. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's throwing a football. By the way, open quarterback competition in 2026, kids.
That's what they're all saying. That's what the Will Levis truthers are still clinging hope to.
I don't think it's entirely out of the question.
I think it is. If it's not entirely out of the question, then you hired the wrong head coach. That's how I feel. If there is a real true quarterback competition, then you hired the wrong head coach.
I think there needs to be. Like, there's no reason there shouldn't be. Cam's not scared of that.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's not a real competition. I mean, you can say it's kind of like you can say that Malik Willis was in competition last year with Mason Rudolph, but we all know it wasn't a real competition.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's a good idea. Like, I think it's okay to push these guys.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
Blaine,
not
you can
saying
speak to
that.
this vastly better than either of us could.
Well,
like the idea that players on a football field would not welcome the opportunity to participate in the competition.
They want to see if they can rise to the occasion.
Correct.
So, yeah, I mean, to say it, but if it's real or not is one thing. But I think you have to, especially with a young player, to push that envelope to see how far he'll go. Because he'll press himself just at practice just to outdo the other player he's competing with.
And probably Will Levis won't even be on this team next year. He'll probably get traded.
Yeah, they probably.
I would think so. I would think that Mike Bergonzi would be pretty willing to be trading Will Levis if there's a taker out there.
I wouldn't mind.
That doesn't mean that you don't bring in someone
mind.
else that's better than Brandon Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that someone that can, push maybe the envelope with Cam Ward a little bit. But, I mean, there's not going to be a real competition.
Let's look at this rationally. All right, he has a contract with the Titans, and he's been injured all season. He's not going to play. So how are you going to get rid of him besides cutting him? Nobody wants to trade for him. So the possibility of him being on the team is more highly likely than not.
I agree.
See, so you got to look at not just look at the actual player, look at the circumstance.
Yeah.
The circumstance says he still has, another year on his contract. They go, well, he can be a serviceable backup. Let's let the new coach observe him, see what he likes and doesn't like, and say, okay, well, at least he can be a backup for us. We know we have our number one. He's number one overall pick, our quarterback, but let's make him compete, because there are some aspects of Levis's game that we could say that he may be better than Cam Ward. That may be only one thing. But guess what? The one coach may say, well, he's developed in those other things that he's not over this offseason. Let's say it can translate in an actual game. So you never know. Watch this. He can be Cam Warren running. He has a bigger arm. Only thing, Cam is just more accurate, but is he elusive with the ball? I don't know. Now, Will Levis now throws maybe to the wrong guy, but so you start looking at the whole body of work and say, maybe we were too quick on the trigger. Not to say that he's a starter, but boy, could he be just as good as David Mills?
Yeah.
See, and
he's
I
not a
think
throwaway.
he can.
He's not a throwaway.
I think he can.
And
so
he's definitely better than Brandon Allen. I think we all agree on that.
To your point, though, Blaine, like I don't want a coach that's coming in here with predetermined anything.
Right.
I don't want.
I think that was some faults of Callahan.
You narrow your pool of people that would be willing to take this job if you try to shoehorn people into saying, no, Cam Ward's your guy. You already did that with Brian Callahan and Amy Adams-Strunk and Will Levis in a statement. Like, all of these things. You did that. It didn't work. I don't want that. I don't want you cutting out potential coaching candidates if you're this organization just because they may feel a certain type of way about one player versus another. Absolutely not.
But they're also, this is the quarterback. This is the number one overall pick. I mean, like, the guy that's taking the job is taking the job with Cam Ward in mind.
Bryce Young, the second year, did he start? And then he did start, and then he got benched, right?
Right.
See, so I'm sure that coach did the same thing when he got the job, saying, hey, I'm going to work with Bryce Young, and then, he's not playing so well, benched him, came back better after the benching. Then he had someone to go to that was a veteran-type quarterback. See, so that's why I say that, and you never know. Will Levis then increases his trade bait and then maybe becomes trade bait before the trade deadline, knowing you're going to actually stick with the number one overall pick. So we can't get ahead of the horse. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, like, I would never just throw him to the weeds and not get any thing back unless he was just horrific.
Yeah, I definitely would not cut him.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely more valuable to this team being on the team in a backup role than he is being loose as a free agent.
Yeah.
But I do think that this head coach, the next head coach is taking this job with Cam Ward as quarterback one
in mind.
In consideration.
Now, Will Levis has to change his mind in that situation, but he's taking it with Cam Ward in mind. I mean, it'd be insane not to take that, especially because you just spent the number one overall pick. This ain't a quarterback that was taken in the second round, third round, fourth round. This is the number one overall pick, and he is Mike Bergonzi's guy. Like, I mean, he talks – the way that Mike Bergonzi talks about Cam Ward is, he's the guy.
He had better. His job depends on it.
Right. So he's not going to hire a guy, the head coach, that doesn't want Cam Ward as quarterback one. That would be insane.
Watch this. Did Callahan take the job thinking that Levis was going to be his guy?
Yeah.
Right, see? But then it changed.
It changed.
Because it was predetermined.
Right. So the same thing can still happen again.
I agree.
And that's the issue you get into. The appeal is Cam Ward, but that can change before training camp is over. Like, that can happen. Like, hey, man, this guy is stubborn. He wants to do it his way. He doesn't listen to us. We're telling him what to do, and he doesn't do it. See? All of a sudden now, you're in a pickle.
But I think we all know that that's not necessarily probably going to be the case.
I think
we don't know that.
No.
We don't know that definitively at all.
Exactly. Nuh-uh. Because I'm going to say this. All great players are stubborn to a certain extent. That's how they got to where they are.
To a certain extent, but not to like...
But if you don't believe in the coach and what they're telling you, all of a sudden you make a mistake, and then you get blamed by the media, by Zach and Buck, and all of a sudden you go...
why aren't you included in that?
Because I'm not. No. Well, I would just use you guys for example. Naturally, me too as well. And I just think, nothing is 100% in sports. It as much as we want it to be,
sure as hell not here.
It's not. It's not as simple as that. Yes, he is the first quick pick. They want him to play, but if he stinks it up, he'll sit his butt on the bench just like.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I would agree
with that.
He may not get it back.
Yeah, he may not get it back.
But then who won the job?
Well, I mean, he won the job if he's getting benched, but then he lost it.
No, he was given the job. That's the Buck's point.
Gotcha.
See, and that is an issue that I think most coaches have problems. See, that's why I wanted to keep Will Levis, play him, let him play himself out of it. Then you lead it to Cam Ward. Because if not, you handed him something, and then now when he makes a mistake, there's no ramification.
No one on this organization or with this organization has earned the right to be given anything. Including Cam Ward.
Including Big Jeff?
Including, Jeffrey Simmons is a different situation.
In the beginning.
Well, you said nobody.
Okay, the one guy. the one guy.
One guy is not nobody.
But I think the standard for him is just as high or higher because of what he's done in the league. So once you see that downward tick, hey, man, you're not running to the ball. I think you guys think it's a little bit different just because you're a star player. They get critiqued harder. Guess why you critique the star players harder than the other players? Because everybody else will fall in line.
Correct. Set a standard.
Yeah, see, so there's times he's not running to the ball like he should. You can see it on tape. Hey, Jeff, let's rewind 3 plays ago. What were you doing here? If you're tired, come out.
Yep.
See, that's how it is in the meeting. See, it ain't all cushion berries and, man, he's a great player.
Let me say this. That's how it was in your meetings. I don't know if that's how it is in these meetings.
Watch this.
Maybe the coaches.
I guarantee you Denard Wilson is someone
probably.
like that. Guess who taught him? The guy who was my DC.
I was about to say, Denard Wilson, I guess.
He's cut from the same cloth. It doesn't change.
There are good quality coaches on this staff. Tyke Tolbert has been doing this for 100 years at a high level. Their wide receivers coach. I have no doubt that Tyke Tolbert knows what he's doing. Denard Wilson is somebody who understands the standards of great organizations, the Eagles, the Ravens, where his previous stops were. I mean, the Jets are obviously on his resume too, but again, it doesn't mean just because you're in bad situations, you are, at blanket statement, bad coaches. There are things here that are workable, but again, there is, if in a situation with Cam Ward, we are still waiting for him to prove definitively that he is something worth building around in the future. And I understand the level of investment that was made with the number 1 overall pick. That should not just completely absolve him of any kind of competition or any kind of threat of being pushed in these situations is the only argument around the Levis thing.
All right. This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need, visit them online at leecompany.com. So the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone. It's the Lee Company countdown to kickoff. Lee Company. Visit them online at leecompany.com, all you need. And the Titans trust their home stadium to Lee Company. Tackle their heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical problems. They protect your home, too. Your next play, visit leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. All right. I just signed an autograph, Al.
Yeah, man, yeah. 104.5 The Zone, huge fan.
Yeah, there you go.
What's your name?
There we go.
You hear? Hey, we need to let everybody know who you are. Who are you? What's your name? Well, how you want us to? What'd you say? Terry the France.
There you go.
Got some fired up, passionate Titans fans out here today.
She got the Titans fans riled up. They're all looking over here now.
Yeah. I will say this, we got a little bit more Titans fans than at this time that we did last time we did the show.
Well, at least we have more Titans fans in the line than Texans fans.
Yeah.
We do see a couple J.J. Watt,
Man, I'm telling you, every time I do a game in Houston, it's one of the worst crowds at any stadium. And that's not like a shot or anything like that, but it's just, I'm always surprised, even when they're good. Texans fans, I don't know. It's just a weird fan base.
Well, they got a lot of distractions there. Houston's a pretty big city there, man.
No, I mean, I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. It's not like there's a ton of Titans fans on a regular basis. I'm just saying, the Houston crowd at NRG Stadium is always so weird to me.
Yeah.
It's never got any juice.
Yeah. We got some guys. We got Henry, Eddie.
Jerseys.
Yeah. Simmons.
Sure. Darren Bates.
Bringing the heat.
I miss
He's
DJ.
coaching now, right?
Yeah, he's on Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina. Okay, I thought I saw that.
He's got him coached up on special
Didn't he
teams
get in
out
a fight pregame a couple of weeks ago with players or something?
I don't know that.
I think it's like a scuffle.
With who?
I am not going to recklessly speculate on that.
With an actual
I can text him and find out.
Panther or the other team? Come on, man.
I will do some journalism and find out.
If that happened to me, I would just fall apart. You're trying to swing some punches at this point, man.
Oh, yeah. It was the Cowboys game. It was with the Panther staff, and it turned out to be Darren Bates, came over to the Cowboys sideline during warm-ups, and he and Maurice Luafu, who is a linebacker over there, got into a little bit, and they had to be separated.
Oh, did we find out the connection? Did he coach him up?
I don't know.
Bates doesn't need a connection, in my experience. He likes to jaw.
They need more Darren Bates on this team.
They sure do. They traded one away in Jarvis Brownlee.
Yeah. I saw he got that penalty, though. He slammed the guy.
Yeah, he did that again.
Yeah.
He did it the game before I watched, and they didn't call the penalty this time. They got him.
Yeah, I mean, if you pick somebody up and suplex them, that's a penalty.
But only if the whistle didn't blow.
No, I hear you. It's like holding. It's not a penalty unless they say it's a penalty.
Spoken like a true defensive guy.
Correct.
If the whistle didn't blow, all bets are off.
Correct.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to slam a guy. You got to German suplex him.
Oh, man. When that happened, that's happened multiple times. My wife said, that's illegal, whether it's against the Titans or for the Titans. That's illegal. I said, no, it's not.
It's just tackling. It doesn't matter if he lifts the guy up.
What if he poked you in the eye? You're trying to
He started it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Man, but who may or may not play? I know we haven't had the list yet, but
at 10:30 we'll get the inactives.
I know, but who do you think will play?
I think Calvin Ridley obviously got reported last night. Was it Garofolo reported that Calvin Ridley is likely to play? So we'll see.
And he's been practicing all week.
So it's not that big of a surprise. I expect Mike Brown to be back today.
Jeff missed Wednesday, but I would be surprised if Jeff Simmons is not out there.
There you
go. But didn't he leave practice on Friday early?
Yeah, he left to go inside from the team stretch.
So he didn't even make it out there really.
Yeah, and he was late coming out to practice on Thursday. So we'll see what the inactives look like. I would be surprised if he's outright inactive today, though. We'll see.
Okay. Well, good.
Maybe on a pitch count or something, but I don't know. Big Jeff may not need a pitch count. I don't know what Big Jeff does or doesn't need.
He was telling
be
people
healthy.
before the Chargers game that he was ready to go. Now, the players say that all the time, and Tavondre Sweat will say that at practice, and then he goes on IR for 4 weeks. So, you try not to put too much weight on those words.
And did you see that Bryce Oliver went on IR?
I saw that.
That sucks for him, man.
That sucks.
He nuts and bolts. He got screwed for the season.
And I'm just so perplexed about their handling of these injuries in IR because, he's been limited in practice. And then L'Jarius Sneed last year, it took about a month and a half for him to go
yeah,
on IR.
and I don't want to make those the same situation, because in the case of Sneed, Sneed was telling us, by the way, a legal situation with Sneed that I'm sure we could talk about at some point today if we wanted to. Some developments on that front, but L'Jarius Sneed's circumstance was they thought it was one thing initially. He had additional evaluation from both team doctors and his own doctors. They were unable to determine the extent of the injury. It prolonged the situation to a point where they thought they might be able to get him back within a certain point of time. They ultimately weren't. They put him on injured reserve. He ended up needing a bone marrow transfusion, which I've not heard of.
That's
for the extent of a quad injury. Again, there were a variety of different things that happened there that were confusing. So I don't want to lump those circumstances into one another. I know that Bones Fossil has been talking about Bryce Oliver's knee injury as if it was substantial. So the fact that they were just actively trying to give him an opportunity to get back into the lineup and ultimately it wasn't going to be able to happen, it's just unfortunate for a young player who
I hate it.
Did well to make a roster and has special teams value and could potentially have given them something on offense.
Well, he could have been a modern version of NWI, eventually get to there. That's what it looked like. He possibly could be fourth, fifth guy, last guy on the roster, worked his way. It's unfortunate, man. I hate it for him because he probably tried to push it too soon. And whether it was him or them, it's always kind of in the middle there. And then it just didn't work out, and he just kind of stayed the same. So everybody's body heals differently, so you just don't know. Man, dang, I was hoping he would get back. I wanted to see what he could do.
And then, to be honest, a lot of fans did, too. I mean, a lot of fans were looking forward to some more Bryce Oliver.
Because this was the perfect time to get a chance to see him with the young receiving coach.
Yep.
Speaking of fans, we've got the live stream going here for those of you who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, beyond being outside here at Nissan Stadium at Gate 3, where people are saying, Restrepo time for the X-Man. No, he was not called up yesterday. If they were going to make that decision, it would have been done yesterday. So, again, he's here because he's friends with the quarterback, and the guy, is getting an opportunity to try and be an NFL player. Doesn't mean that he won't be an NFL player at some point in his career, but right now that is not the case.
All right, what are the odds? You guys are two gamblers. I am not. Odds that Restrepo dresses this season.
I think at one point he will dress.
And play.
Now, I don't know about playing, but at least he'll dress.
If he dresses, to me, that means he
would have to, at least on special teams.
Like the Saints games, Week 17, right? Like, maybe he plays in that game.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a 1-in-8 chance at this point.
Because, if the number one pick's on the line,
anybody
not
on the roster, I want to see in an actual game before the season's up, being where they are. This team not being very good.
I mean, it can't hurt anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the only thing it can do is just slow down the offense. It's already moving at a snail's pace sometimes.
I'm a fan of a guy like that, and just to see what he can actually do.
Yeah. I hope it motivates him, and he goes on to do great things. Like nobody's rooting for this guy or rooting against this guy personally. It's just, that's the state of things right now.
It's just a realistic expectations of Xavier Restrepo were unrealistic by fans at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And they saw Cam Ward, Xavier Restrepo. They saw Xavier Restrepo's stats at the college level, and they're like,
which were phenomenal. He's an all-time leading receiver right in Miami history.
At Miami that has had some incredible wide receivers.
It's just Reggie Wayne, Mike Irvin, and some other guys.
Andre Johnson. They're all over the place.
Yeah. And he also played a lot more games than all those guys. Just want to throw that out there. But not to take anything away from him.
That's what you just did.
You literally you said he's a compiler.
I'm just saying he is. But you have to be good to compile stats regardless.
He had production, no doubt.
Yeah. But when we talk about those records and listings and all that stuff, it's got to be taken into account. How many games you play. It's just like when people say, Calvin Johnson just this week said, I'm surprised that nobody has broken my single-season receiving record because there's an extra game. And so I'm just saying that matters.
Especially in a passing league.
Yeah, in a passing league.
It's kind of where it's going.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk more and dive into the matchup of the Texans versus Titans. Maybe we'll get into some L'Jarius Sneed. We'll talk a little bit more about the reinforcements coming in as well. This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone. It's the Lee Company countdown to kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. Available 24/7. Put Lee Company on your team to tackle your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical problems. Schedule online at leecompany.com. Lee Company, all you need. All right. I'm Zach Lyons. We have Blaine the Hitman Bishop, and we have Buck Rising here to take you all the way to Titans radio coverage, which begins at 11 a.m. right before kickoff at noon. Texans versus Titans.
I was breathing a little hard, man. I ran all the way to the porta potty and made it back.
Yeah, you did.
I was unsure.
Hit a jog, old man. There you go.
A little bit of time.
Hey, man, I still got a little pep in my step, man. The Titans may need to sign because they can't get any worse than what I can do right now.
we will hold some tryouts.
Who's faster right now, you or Xavier Restrepo?
I would give Restrepo. Oh, come on, man. I don't know,
That's
man.
not very nice.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe in a 40. I don't know. 40. He definitely get me on the quicks, man. He may push me down. Hang on somewhere, old man. Give me the straight arm.
So
all right.
We're hanging outside of Gate 3, obviously, which is where we typically broadcast, and we tend to see some funny signs out here. And there are two people dressed in Titans-branded construction outfits with a sign that says, "Proceed with caution, team under construction." They seem to be getting directed away, as a matter of fact, from the entrance. I don't know if are they being screened right now? Oh, this is so lame. I hate when they do this. Just let them go in, my God.
They did a good job, too. They have the colors of the Titans, aqua. What is that color?
They've
like mellow yellow or whatever, you know.
Yeah, they're dressed
Then
as
it
if,
looks like Home Depot.
They went out of their way to put the Titans logo on them. I mean, come on, let them in. That's such garbage. I hate when people are doing.
Oh, that's why they're not.
Did they take away the sign?
They don't have anything negative on the gear.
Overly sensitive is how I would describe that. But
man, hopefully they let him through.
They seem to be explaining something to security right now. So I don't fault the security people. They're just doing what they're told. But I would think that is weenie behavior.
Yeah, they were fun-loving guys too. They weren't,
no, that's harmless. Again, if people are willing to show up to this crap, okay,
right.
I think you would have a little bit of grace on what they may, the things that they do to entertain themselves in real time.
I'm not gonna lie. I made fun of your gloves and your outfit earlier.
See?
He's a little chilly in his shorts.
I'm a little chilly. This
He's
wind's
a little
whipping
chilly in his
around.
Hey, man, don't let the wily vet fool you, man. I've been out here for a little bit of years now. Yeah. I was sitting here like you before. Like, crap, I was freezing. Yeah.
Okay. Biggest reinforcement for the Titans. Is it bigger to have Jeff on the field or Ridley on the field?
Jeff. It's not even close.
Not even close?
Not even close.
Won't entertain the idea that Ridley could help maybe spark this offense at all?
When has he done that?
Last year.
Arizona.
In the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter.
Credit.
No, he gets. It's tough for me to give too much credit to a quarter so far, Blaine.
Watch this. I'm about to give you something. I'm going to do what you guys do.
Okay.
Watch this. Jeff has missed games. The defense still has done really well. The offense hasn't done so well without Ridley because even though he's not getting the ball, he still is the deep threat or things teams have to address.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little easier for the other guys.
It was
just
easier
being on the other side of it. I mean,
no, it's fair.
I agree with you guys, but at the same time, you go, the defense has done actually decent.
It's easier for Alec Iamaner to be productive if Calvin Ridley is out there taking up attention. And we've seen Alec Iamaner fall off without Calvin Ridley in the lineup. Now we've also seen Chimere Dike take a step forward as far as both offense and special teams. Obviously had a punt return touchdown for the first time in his career 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, the last time that this team played. So I'm curious to see what happens with Ridley. I don't know, man. Like I don't.
He's been disappointing for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm a little perturbed. Unreliable. Then when he's out there, he's kind of up and down. Seasoned veteran guys are consistent every game. You know what they give you. He's supposed to be averaging 80, 90 yards a game, man. At least. We got it. Yeah. Come on, man.
And I acknowledge that it would be difficult in any normal situation for people to be less interested when you're not having success. But that's not what your contract demands that you be. And I hate to pocket watch on guys like that, but that's the standard.
Yeah.
That's the standard, Blaine. To your point, you see our construction guys are getting, it seems, escorted out. So weenie behavior on behalf of the football team to not allow those guys
they were
in.
told to leave. They're not getting escorted out.
Okay.
They were told to leave. There's no security with them walking with
Okay,
them.
I thought I saw a security person with them. You're
I
right.
don't say maybe I'm.
They have been told to leave with their sign. So
Yeah, they had to roll up their sign.
that's
Unbelievable.
lame as hell.
I wonder if they have to change because of the color and the confusion.
I don't
like,
care.
I mean,
It doesn't matter what
I
the
don't know.
logic
I'm
is.
just
It's
trying
still
to
lame as
figure
hell.
out what the big issue is here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
That was a
it's,
fun-loving guy. They weren't trying to do that.
Tony Keeley said Buck says they're getting arrested.
That's how you put it out there. Like, getting escorted. Whoa.
well, I saw people walking with them
it was
to
a
the
group of people.
security
It
security
was.
point, and then they walked out.
And then when I saw him go around the fence, I was like, but none of those people are police.
They're getting put in the paddy wagon as we speak.
Yeah, it may be preferable at this point in time. I just, God. Anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on that.
No negativity on the jerseys or T-shirts or anything like that. Hats, bags.
Yeah.
But I will say to your point, what
Only
you're
on the
saying,
field.
to get this back on
Only on the field.
the rails here. I will say to your point, that's why I kind of brought it up, is because the defense has looked fine with Big Jeff. Now, Big Jeff is the more impactful player and the better player.
No doubt.
But the defense has looked fine. This is an offensive line that can probably be taken advantage of. Maybe not to the extremes that the Chargers' offensive line got taken advantage of. But I look at this offense and I'm like, well, Calvin Ridley is a impactful player one way or the other just by being on the field. Now, he may not be like, because defenses do have to somewhat pay attention to him, right?
No doubt.
And that could help Alec Iamanu or someone
Make
like
it a little
that.
bit easier.
But so to me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I would say that I think Calvin Ridley may mean more to this team right now in terms of offense versus defense, because I think the defense has been performing better than the offense more often than not anyway, even without Big Jeff.
Yeah, you could look at the other side, really being out, you get to see a little more of the young players, see how they can handle it, and what position maybe they're looking forward to next year. Are they really twos, or they are three? Or in certain circumstances, if they're doubling our number one, whoever that guy is, could this guy be a number one on a given day in a game? So I kind of like that he's not being out there to a certain extent as far as Ridley. I just wish Jeff had an injury too as well. So it just feels like they've overcome it a little bit more on defense than really on offense.
Sure,
that's kind of how it looks on the outside.
No, it's fair. But with Draymond Jones, who they've since traded away, so Draymond Jones had been a productive player
he was.
for the weeks leading up to the trade deadline. Obviously, we haven't done one of these pregame shows since the trade deadline took place. So Draymond Jones has obviously been moved to the Baltimore Ravens for a conditional fifth that can become a fourth if the Ravens make the playoffs and Draymond Jones has 2 sacks in the regular season. He had
like the trade? Like the trade? I mean, that was good. I mean,
I mean, given that was the most meaningful trade that they made, I would say on aggregate, that's for a guy on a 1-year deal. Yeah. That's fine, right? I can take bigger issue with the Brownlee trade for obvious reasons. McCreary, I'm kind of on the fence about whatever.
He hasn't even started. Well, he hasn't even played a snap.
Well, that was the
Rams.
thing that caught my attention. McVay gave a press conference after they traded for McCreary, where he said he was basically just talking about Rodgers' depth, and so he's playing. He's playing special teams basically. They don't need him.
Yeah, I was. The Brownlee is the only one. It just seems weird to me. McCreary, I understand you already thought, hey, we're not going to sign him next year, so we might as well try to get some value out of him. They had made that decision based off their move. So,
but what does that say about the Titans that McCreary was a starter here and he's a depth piece over at the Rams? Does it say more about the Rams or more about the Titans? I think
you're just looking at on the face value. But it's hard to get, moved and then just kind of immediately impact or start right away. You have to go through a transition of understanding all the defensive, especially if he's playing nickel. I don't know what they're playing, but that does say a little bit about maybe he's more of a, fourth corner on most rosters, and maybe with the Titans he was, the third corner.
Okay, so our construction guys, just to update everybody, have been allowed back in
without their sign.
They've been released from jail.
They look like they still have. They
have 2 smaller signs, so I don't know.
It's rolled up.
I don't know if maybe they had to.
I think they had to go
maybe
to
the sign was
potty,
too
just
big
like I did.
for whatever reason. I don't know. But yes, they have been allowed back in. They're actually getting through the gate. So
there you go.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Congratulations, you get to go in.
Yeah, what's the bigger punishment? Not being allowed in or being allowed in? What's the bigger punishment here? Arden Key obviously is coming back. he gave a couple locker room interviews and stuff. How was his vibes heading into this game?
Arden's vibes have been good. Arden has never been somebody who's defeatist or anything like that. Like I've always said, Arden and Chig are two players that I've really appreciated the fact that they're still around, they're still in it. Their level of effectiveness, at times can be questioned. Obviously, Chig is more reliant on quarterback than Arden Key is on anybody else being able to go about and do their job. But Arden Key, he made a joke. I think he was half kidding when he said it. The idea that this is his time of year to kind of produce and step up a little bit, and God knows they'll need him because, again, they are without Draymond Jones, and they have experienced some injuries. Femi Oladejo is still on injured reserve, the second-round pick this year at edge, so they are perilously thin. Now, something that was pointed out this week is that James Williams has seen some work on the edge.
I love it.
In a situation, was he a seventh or a sixth round linebacker out of Miami?
Seventh.
Converted safety, who has been playing off-ball linebacker, primarily a special teams player. He's got the length, certainly, if they want to line him up out there, just because they have no – yeah, he's certainly got the motor and he's got the attitude to go out there and try and whip somebody's ass. So you're hoping to see at least something from those guys on the edge. I don't know if they can recreate what they were doing with Draymond Jones in the lineup, but obviously Jeff Simmons will give them an advantage no matter who they're up against.
Yeah, I like the creativity. They may end up, out of desperation, finding a player.
Yeah.
That happens at times, but typically when you're kind of making that transition and you don't have that in your back pocket and had never done it before, the result is now you're just a speed rusher. And so how much, will that equate to maybe getting a sack? Maybe in this first game, probably, but then once everybody sees this is all you can do and, you don't have any rush moves, it may change. But I don't know what he has in his background. You go from safety. I don't think he was doing a lot of pass rushing at safety. Maybe been doing blitzing. Hey, man, more power to him.
Safety to inside linebacker, now to edge. I mean, they're just trying to find a way to use them, and some of that's out of desperation, like you said. Mm-hmm. But I kind of look at it and I go, didn't you tell me that Javon Curse played safety?
No, that was in high school.
That was in high school? Well, still.
Right. At Florida, he did not.
A little bit different, I guess. But
Florida, he did not.
I don't know.
Florida,
I love it.
A passer.
I love figuring out if maybe you can turn James Williams into a pass rusher.
That's what I said. I like that.
Because he's played. This is a guy that we all said on the radio. Now, we had changed our opinion towards the end of the thing, but the beginning, most people said James Williams got the starting
I never
job.
said that.
And then we talked about Cedric Gray coming on. But a guy that was talked about in large part to be the number one guy. They gave him a lot of number one reps in the offseason at the beginning of the preseason, but also in training camp and stuff. Played 0 defensive snaps so far this year. James Williams has not played 1 defensive snap this year at all. Now they're trying him at pass rusher, so I'm very interested to see can he find a spot on this team somewhere to make some sort of impact.
I think this was a great example of a really good athlete and, another guy who had played the position linebacker in Gray, who when he was out there, it was obvious to me in my mind, based off his communication skills, was the better player. Now, was he the better athlete? No. So they're trying to find a way with all the injuries and trades and everything else to, find a place for him because he is a, good young player. So how can we get him out here? The easiest way is, hey, get out here and let's let him pass rush. He's got some abilities, got some length to him.
Got some coverage abilities because he's safety, linebacker. He can read and diagnose.
So I think it's a great idea. Once again, if this works out, Denard Wilson should get some credit for making this kind of, attempt to do something. And I've seen this before.
Him and Ben Bloom.
Yeah. We're coaching him up, yes.
Yeah.
Your record as a player is not your resume. Your tape is your resume. And so what he does with any opportunities that he's given defensively, special teams, and I think that he's ready, willing, and able to go out there and take advantage of that. Do
you think he embraces that position? Sometimes
I think he embraces the ability to play.
Right. But you may still be somewhat, in his mind, he'll never admit it, I don't know if I want to do that, man.
Well, I'll say this, you get paid more as a pass rusher than you do as a safety.
I never wanted to play safety.
Yeah.
I never wanted to play safety.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Not the way they were utilizing this safety.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't playing too deep. I was up there like, hey, man, I was a corner or nickel. What are we doing? They were like, hey, man, this is a good opportunity. 2 guys got injured. See what you can do. We think you can do it. See? Then that happens, even though behind the scenes in your mind, you're going, I don't know about this. Wait till one of those left tackles put their paws on him and bury him and take him to the ground. And you're like, hey, I ain't done with that.
But I think he relishes the opportunity to just go out there and try to smack somebody. I think he wants to hit. I think he's a physical player. I think, and he's got to be careful to not be penalized and not get out of control or anything like that. And we don't, his level of technical ability is completely unknown. So we will see whether or not it's an effective strategy, and it may be something that they try and they continue to try as we work our way through these next 8 weeks. God, they have nobody else playing. They just need bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like
he could turn into Arden Key.
Maybe he could. Why
you got to put me in a position like that? Because you know what I'm going to say. This is warm bodies.
You're covered in tights. You know better. Can that happen?
Sure, why not?
Listen, if I'm James Williams, I'm also looking at it from this perspective. If I hit as a pass rusher at any kind of level, I'm getting paid more money as that than I am at inside linebacker or safety.
For sure.
So, heck, I'm embracing not only the opportunity from a playing perspective, but from a paying perspective.
And if they try to Jarvis Brownlee at the end of the year, because that's not a guy that was drafted by Mike Borgonzi, that's fine. Give yourself an opportunity to go play somewhere else.
Oh, so it could be that, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
We got to use this guy because he's not going to be here.
Listen, head on a swivel, man. If you're not drafted by Mike Borgonzi, head on a swivel, in my opinion. Because, it obviously trade deadline is passed and everything, but doesn't mean you can't get traded once free agency and all that stuff opens up.
Long off season.
Once that new league year starts, we're already talking about a team that needs about 33 players anyway. So it's a huge. It's going to look totally different for the third time in a row. This team is going to look totally different. Wow. So it's going to be crazy, but I am
that makes it
very
fun for Buck,
excited.
Though, who's gets to cover him. He's there every day in the locker room. You get to know him,
brother. I'm walking in there with flashcards.
Yeah,
I don't know who these dudes are.
Right.
I'm looking at Jeff Simmons' locker room. Is right in the middle of the locker room in the Titans locker room. There's 2 empty stalls next to him, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out who the hell was next to Jeff Simmons at the start of the year, and I realized, it's Quandre Diggs and Tyler Lockett. Neither of those guys. So Jeff's basically got a 3-locker setup at this point in time because they're just emptying out stalls.
Besides James Williams, you know who the only other pass rusher is on this roster besides Jahad Ward and Arden Key?
Jalen Harrell.
Jalen Harrell, I forgot about him, but Truman Jones.
That's right.
Truman Jones.
It's a Madden creative player. Yeah.
Yeah. Who that?
Who that? Respectfully.
Who that?
Truman Jones. Harvard outside linebacker from Harvard.
6'3", 255.
Yeah, 6'3", yes. 6'3", 255. Right?
Oh, I definitely haven't seen that guy.
Yeah. He's there.
Okay, if you say so.
That's what they say. That's what they tell me.
Is his first year in the league or second?
This is, he entered
Kansas
in as
City,
an undrafted free
New
agent in 2023.
Okay.
So
All right.
Truman Jones.
I thought Harold was actually coming on a little bit that one game. So
he's another guy that's got some juice to him.
I was a little surprised because he showed a little bit more than I had seen earlier in his short career here. So, yeah.
We'll see. They need all the pass rush they can get. What do you guys want to see out of this defense from here on in? Because, obviously we want people to stay healthy, I think is the big thing, is like Big Jeff stay healthy, Tavondre Sweat stay healthy. But, it's a defense that's probably going to look, again, drastically different next year. All probably at least two new corners. Is it really just about staying healthy and watching Marcus Harris and Kevin Winston because they're the rookies?
Well, getting better, but I would say this, with all the turnover, I thought they've done a good job, but the explosive plays and the continue to get better at tackling in the open field. Those two things, it doesn't matter who's out there. Those, you got to continue right now. Do you want to play better in the red zone and maybe third down efficiency? But the explosive plays, every game I'm seeing explosive plays all over.
Yeah. And the last Texans game, the tackling at the end was pitiful.
Yes. So they got to get better the
worst
last
games
game
they've-
against the Chargers, but let's
Yeah.
continue this momentum. Even though you're changing a little bit of the players out there, let's see if we continue to improve that. I think those are the biggest things, really, with what you got.
Yeah, I mean, who can set themselves apart? Because Mike Borgonzi was asked, the Wednesday, not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday previous after the trade deadline, the idea of foundational pieces, like who are you building around for the future? And it was kind of a leading question because Terry McCormick asked it and said something to the effect of, you're talking about 15 guys, you're talking about 20 guys. Borgonzi said like 4 or 5 on any given roster as foundational core pieces that can last through each iteration of a roster once you have those core pieces figured out. Cedric Gray, I'm not saying, off-ball linebacker is a premium position and a guy that has to be built around necessarily, but can you continue to establish yourself? He's one of the leading tacklers in the NFL. He has some things to be desired in coverage as a player, but I think on aggregate he's been better than Cody Barton, who is also on a longer-term deal here. Can you make somebody like Barton more disposable, for lack of a better term, as you continue to cycle through your cap situation next year? And I know Barton's contract's a 3-year deal, if I'm not mistaken.
So how do you grade how he's look? I don't want to cut you off, but where are you at with Cody Barton? You're talking about maybe they can replace him, but to me, having a young player with a veteran player, so that means you think he's underperforming?
I would say and it's tough, Blaine, because in Denver he was on such a better defense, right? It's one of the best defenses in football.
I agree. Maybe he is underperforming, but is it enough for him to not be on the team?
No, not in the immediate, because again, they just don't have players, right? Like I'm not saying that Cedric Gray good enough, get rid of Cody Barton. That's not they do not have that luxury right now.
Oh, okay. That's
he's good enough on a middling roster as they work their way forward. And can he be a plus player on a better defense? He's shown evidence of that in his previous stop before he arrived here.
I mean, if you took away this is maybe a poor way to look at it, but he's been able to get some interceptions, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I think that has helped, keep his, I guess, free agent stock afloat. And I do think he's running out there with like concrete shoes on. That's what it feels like.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I like what I saw on film, and I've talked to some people down there in Denver when we signed him, and they said, "Hey, man, great guy." But he was exactly what Buck said. They said he isn't the player you think he is. He was around a lot of great players, and made the most of his moment and made a lot of plays that way. But he isn't some ultra talented player like that. He's an assignment guy. He said on a real good team, he should really be a backup. Yeah, and I mean he could do any of the backups, but that's where he should be.
And that's the kind of the problem with the Titans anyway, is that they sign guys that probably aren't ones. Yeah. Right?
He said you could say 1B, but he was just like, he's not a dude like that. He said, now, did he do well in replacement of the guy he was in? He said, absolutely he did. He said, but man, when you got those guys up front with what they had at Denver a year ago. He said,
it's a little bit different when you got Patrick Surtain and Nick Bonito and all these guys, and then you come over here and you just got Big Jeff. It's a totally different ball game. Now, listen, Cedric Gray has played out of his mind this year, and you talk about bright spots. That's one of the very few bright spots that you have on this entire team, and he's been playing like a man possessed. He's been good at triggering in the run game. I mean,
that's the other thing.
To me, it's like, okay, you got Cedric Gray. You could probably live with Cody Barton for another season, but you probably draft an inside linebacker late to kind of get him up to speed behind him and take over for Cody Barton heading into the year 3 of his contract. Maybe you get rid of him.
The other part of this is they have one cornerback under contract in 2026, and that corner is currently dealing with legal troubles in L'Jarius Sneed for.
I don't understand all this. Is going to kind of explain it for us. Ding-dongs here over here.
Well, I'll give you the exact details because there was an update in the reporting. So he was in a situation, obviously, in last December while he was on injured reserve with the Titans, where he was accused of being involved in a shooting. Now, nobody was hit, nobody was killed, but he was reported to have been in a car, and now video shows that he was driving the car. Let me give you the exact details, Blaine, so I don't stumble my way through some legalese here.
Even though he didn't shoot, I know we talked about it while you're looking it up. But
he's implicated in the situation.
So he should have told them What was that exact memory?
Failure to report.
Yeah, failure to
Right.
report.
He was
I'm like,
indicted for
oh.
failure to report by a grand jury in Dallas
in
County,
Te-
which is where it took
I guess
place.
that's their law.
A failure to report the crime, not
Right.
failure to report to show up somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So now there is video that has since been given to the Associated Press. Now, we have not seen the video ourselves, but there is surveillance video that shows Tennessee Titans cornerback L'Jarius Sneed driving a Lamborghini at a suburban Dallas dealership and nearby gas station minutes before two men alleged that shots were fired at them from that vehicle last December, so about a year ago. He was indicted this past Tuesday, by a Dallas County grand jury on a misdemeanor charge of failing to report felony aggravated assault to law enforcement. The indictment does not include details of the alleged incident on December 6th. In the video, Sneed can be seen getting out of the Lambo, then using crutches to walk past the men and upstairs, because he's hurt, into the dealership at 3:22 p.m. on that date. Sneed walks out about a minute later in the video, which was shared with the Associated Press by attorney Levi McCatherine, who represents the two men who are in the civil lawsuit against Sneed over the shooting. So there's multiple angles of this. It's he's the only corner. My point is, he's the only corner under contract, and we don't know what that's going to look like moving forward. He's not been charged with anything yet, and if he is charged with something, then the Titans can look at the idea of voiding his guaranteed money, and they may have a situation built into his contract. I'm not familiar with the exact details of his contract. They may have something built in there to hedge their bets against any kind of unreliability anyway. But I think that in talking about things that we're trying to learn,
Conduct
moving
detrimental
forward
to the team.
right? That's how they would void it, right? That is something by the letter of the law, the NFL law, that they can do. So my point is, that's your only guy under contract next year. You got a bunch of corners that you've claimed off waivers and trying to figure out. You need depth as much as you need starters at this point in time. Can you figure out something about the secondary? Because obviously Sneed is not reliable.
Yeah, it's Marcus Harrison, L'Jarius Sneed.
diplomatically.
That's about it. I mean, like it's your cornerback room right now is Marcus Harrison next year, because I don't think L'Jarius Sneed's going to be here. So you have options in free agency maybe to be able to sign, but this secondary, I mean, like this is a
Baker
blank.
and Davis is gone.
Probably. This is a blank canvas for any defensive coordinator next year, or for you to try to help reestablish what this defense needs to be going forward, because you can't just be the Bengals and not have a defense year after year after year and expect to be successful. But they're going to have to build this whole thing from the ground up, it feels like, or from the back forward.
Maybe you have Baker, Davis, and Harris in the slot starters with Winston and Hooker. There we go. I got to figure it out.
There you go. At least that's what they're doing today. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up our talk of the Tennessee Titans versus Houston Texans. This is the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff right here on 104.5 The Zone. All right, so Lee Company countdown to kickoff. Lee Company, all you need. Visit them online at leecompany.com. And today's broadcast is brought to you in part by SA Recycling. SA Recycling reminds you to be a good fan this game day and look for recycle bins in and around Nissan Stadium. All right, actives and inactives for the Tennessee Titans are out. The only inactives, it's a short list, actually. Xavier Woods, Jarek Reed, the new safety they just signed.
Yeah.
Drew Moss, guard, and Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, the tackle. So that means that at least in some form of playing time or availability, we have at least Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons, and Arden Key are all officially active. So I want to go through real quick and just say I got a little bit more hope as the president of positivity of 104.5 The Zone.
Yeah.
The Titans own the NFL. This is from Nick Suss of the Tennessean. The Titans own the NFL's number 32 scoring offense, number 32 total offense. The Texans own.
Positive?
Okay, we're getting there. The Texans own the NFL's number 1 scoring and total defense. So the number 1 defense versus the number 32 offense. And since 2000, 4 games between teams that ended the year D1, defensive 1, and offensive 32 have been played. And in the most recent instance, the terrible offense pulled off the unthinkable upset. Back in 2020, the 0-13 Jets avoided a winless season against the NFL's best, a Rams defense led by Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. So just saying.
Into that.
So just saying. Titans money line, you still got time to put money on it if you guys want to bet.
Yeah, we understand that you were, 48% on your.
I'm at dead 50% on lines than best bets.
What do you think about that?
Okay. Crossed the 50-yard line one time. Like this team.
Well, it's not crossing the 50-yard line is necessarily the problem. It's what they do after crossing the 50-yard line.
Well, I mean, God knows red zone trips have been few and far between this season, just generally, no matter who the coaching staff is. The Texans' defense is awesome. They're awesome at every level. Now, they're going to be without the Texans' inactives are Jalen Petrie, who's a starting safety for them. C.J. Stroud, obviously, is not going to play. We knew that. Kaimi Fairbairn, their kicker. Braxton Berrios, special teams. Damian Pierce, tackle Jarrett Kingston, and a guard, Ed Ingram.
Ooh, that's their starting guard, by the way.
And they're
that's the guy that Jeffrey Simmons just treated like he was a ghost.
Ragdolled.
That was
The Texans' offensive line played reasonably well against the Jags. Now, the Jags don't get pressure with regularity, and you had a situation where Davis Mills was able to come back in that fourth quarter against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Inexcusable loss for Jacksonville last week to Houston in the situation that they were in to fall to 5-4 on the season. But the Texans' offensive line is playing better. They had a success rate on the ground of 65%, which is not something that they've been able to do all season long. They've not been a good running football team. We'll see if that translates today. If Jeff Simmons and Tavondre Sweat, it seems, are going to get at least some level of run time together. We'll see what Jeff's usage is in this game, but I believe if Jeff's active, he's gonna play as much as humanly possible
and probably dominate. With no Ed Ingram, their starting inside guard. I mean, I think that we're going to see kind of what we saw against the Chargers.
Well, the expectation
just
is
up the middle.
The expectation is that Jeffrey dominates every time he's out there, and that's been the case this season, to his credit. But what I am curious to see is if the Houston Texans offensive line can put up any better of a fight, because they were getting decent pressure on C.J. Stroud in that game. It's just the Titans offense couldn't do anything in the 26-0 shutout in Week 4.
I mean, all eyes are on the offense today. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that for every week, pretty much. Well, but you got to be able to score some points, or limit the Texans, because the Texans in every game they have lost, they've scored less than 20 points. Yeah. And they're 4-5. So if the defense can maybe hold them down and not break like it broke last game with those missed tackles and explosive runs that you were talking about, maybe there's a chance the Titans can pull out a close one. But this team's got to start learning to put up some points.
Yeah, and that's
which we haven't seen to do.
Yeah, but especially against this kind of defense. I think maybe if you run the football a little bit more and have some success, maybe, and get them a little bit off balance. But that's hoping for the best.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be careful also with guys coming back that's been out for a period of time. To let's kind of pump the brakes and expect them to be out there full go all the time. Maybe they're going to be platooning and maybe not be the type of impactful player that they were before the injury, just kind of playing it by ear. Each individual is a little bit different. But when you're talking about a hamstring with a wide receiver, I mean, man, you can just run down on the go and you the clear out guy and you didn't even get, thrown to, and all of a sudden you're out the rest of the game because it came right back. So, and Jeffrey Simmons kind of a sharp burst, explosive guy. So you're always a little concerned. I think it was hammy or groin or whatever it was. So I want to see those guys look super healthy and back like they were before, maybe conditioning, maybe a little bit for some, depending on position. But then once that happens, then I think you then ratchet up the expectations throughout the game. But I'm always concerned when you're a wide receiver and hamstrings. So I'm be honest, I'm not expecting a lot out of Ridley.
He may just be getting aerobic exercise out there.
Well, I want to see him stay out there and not come out.
I have such a low bar for Calvin right now. I mean,
I think we have such a low bar for this offense. It feels like
but him in particular, like he is supposed to be an impact player on this team, and I'm not, and I want to acknowledge the fact that he's dealing with injury. Like this is a legitimate reason that he's missing time for. But when he's been out on the field, it's insufficient. Yeah. So I hope that, one, he continues to get healthy. I hope he can find his way into being a meaningful contributor. I hope for Cam Ward's sake, because what matters at this point is the development and success of the rookie quarterback. And if you cannot be a plus for Cam Ward out there, then you do not have the value that's required of you, especially given that, 4-year, $92 million deal that he signed with this team a couple of years ago.
And the reason why we keep bringing that up, to Buck's point, is let's say the last impactful wide receiver was A.J. Brown. Every time he played, he impacted the game. It was no way around it. Even if he wasn't getting the ball, he was still impacting the game. I don't feel like we get nowhere near that kind of consistency with a guy with a bigger contract, actually, at the time.
Yeah.
Comparing, those time frames. So I just think he should kind of have that impact. So let's see if he can stay healthy and then see if he can produce if he is out there.
This team is so desperate for that alpha wide receiver.
We need it,
and it's been that way traditionally ever since really Derek Mason left. I mean, you had A.J. Brown for a short period of time, but then he was gone. It was like he was here, you had it, you finally had your answer, and then he's gone.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back there and Mason because y'all would call me old man. So I decided.
Well, did you see today? I meant to bring this up. Speaking of Derek Mason, not only is he the leading receiver here for the Tennessee Titans, but he's the leading receiver for the Baltimore Ravens.
Shout out to D. Mace, by the way. That's badass.
It's badass, but it's actually he's going to be that's more than likely going to be broken today. I believe Mark Andrews only needs 4 more yards.
It should be, at least. Broken today.
But isn't that kind of wild?
He might have won that
Mason,
because they might be able to trade Mark Andrews.
Yeah, but it's just kind of wild when you think about that. He holds the receiving record for 2 different franchises.
Well, when you consider the state of wide receivers in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised here. I guess I was a little bit more surprised it was over there at the Ravens, but they've had the same
he
kind
had
of
Flacco,
issues.
deep on Flacco.
Yeah.
He's still
Elite
going.
Joe Flacco.
He's still going.
40 years old.
Thought?
I don't know. And in 2025, when you've got Myles Garrett's of the world out there chasing you down, Joe Flacco's out there playing reasonably high-level quarterback.
That's the game I think I'm dreading the most is Myles Garrett versus Dan Moore, because we already know how that's going to go because we've seen it on tape when he was over at the Steelers.
It might be a 3-6 type of game.
I think Cam Moore should just tap out.
They should save him.
Save
him from himself.
Yeah.
Put in Brandon Allen.
Yeah. I think that's a
sacrificial lamb.
to play him in that game.
Or Trevor Siemian, maybe call it. Is he still on the practice
Trevor
squad?
Siemian is still there. He's still wandering around the
up.
locker room. Got Titans legend Trevor Siemian out there wandering around.
Trevor
That's true.
Siemian.
Oh, man.
On his 3rd tour of duty here, by the way.
I mean, do some of them count? What was that one? He was here like 2 weeks.
That's right. Titans legend.
Titans legend.
Oh, stop that. You're demeaning the legend part of that.
No.
All right, the Houston's defense
So if you play one play?
If you are rostered or practice squad at any point, Blaine, I'm going to make the joke on Twitter. That's what I do.
Houston's defense is first in points, first in yards, 4th in turnovers, first in EPA per play, and 3rd in success rate. And now, if you don't include the Titans game, where of course the Titans don't score any points last time, they allowed just 18.75 points per game. Tennessee Titans are scoring right now, 13 points a game?
13? Okay.
13.7, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm rounding up.
So they're 5 points off from what they're allowing. So I don't know. I mean, I know I said Titans money line.
Still feeling
pretty good, but
the numbers aren't adding up to what you're saying.
It's that fluke NFL win, right? Like the win that you don't expect, nobody expects. Yeah. The bye week, they've done a lot of self-scouting, looking inward. Yeah. A lot of self-reflecting.
You're really putting yourself on the line.
I'm trying. Hey, listen. Someone's got to be positive. Nobody. I can even get 3HL to go money line.
I'm positive. I think if they start fast because you get the extra juice from the bye week, so you got some little more energy, but you still don't have the play. Eventually, that settles down, and that's why I said, what is the recipe? I think they need to run the football a little bit more.
They give up, Blaine. They give up on it. It's so weird.
Man.
Run the damn ball. And no Wildcats. Okay, guys? You would just throw the Wildcat play out of the playbook. Because, before they did the first Wildcat, they were averaging, Blaine, 7.6 yards per carry in a traditional run game. And then they go do the Wildcat. You went all the way down the field.
I just saw somebody do it yesterday in college football. Was it Texas? Somebody got in the red, and then they went Wildcat, and they lost yardage. Or threw it may have been
Texas. It may have been Texas, but and then in the second half, they were averaging just in the second half yardage 4.4 yards per carry on the ground. Then they did 2 Wildcats. So you're getting the yardage to necessitate to actually lean into the run game, and you just bail on it. It's insane to me how this team.
Well, it shows you what they think. They think passing is the way to go, and man. With this kind of line and their success.
How could you possibly think that watching this football
I think that's what they think because they just keep doing it.
I mean, your run game was working. 4 of Cam Ward's 5 passing touchdowns, come from play action plays, and they only run 6 play action plays a game.
Well, it's like the RPO
lean
thing.
Into it. Like
they got shook on the RPO stuff because he was getting some passes swatted down in training camp and joint practices and things like that. And they just
why do they get so scared easily like that? Like, okay, 2 or 3 passes out of how many plays?
Testicular fortitude.
I mean, we can't be thinking like that, man. And so if they stop you on a 4th down, you're never going to go for another 4th down.
Famously.
Yeah. This team for sure.
Come on,
famously.
Man. We got to be mentally tougher than that.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, Blaine. But
for me, it's about, playing with nothing to lose at this point, but also coaching with nothing to lose.
Right.
Like, I mean, I've had a bigger – listen, there have been some bad plays by that – with the players, right? Like the players have not been perfect. Yeah. But I've been sorely disappointed in the offensive coaching and strategy that has gone in with some of the decisions that they have made, and they're playing like they're cowards.
So you want to do play action, pass, RPO, and what else would you do? What would be your
run the ball, run the damn ball.
Yeah.
That's my number 2 thing. Run the damn ball. And listen, the 2 weeks before, the first 2 weeks that Mike McCoy became interim head coach, he got DK involved, and then DK suddenly disappeared against the Chargers. I know Ridley's coming back, so that's going to eat into some of what DK could possibly get thrown his way, but design some stuff to help get DK involved because you could have possibly 2 kind of speed deep threats on the field, and you got to get DK. Don't forget about DK just because Calvin Ridley's back.
Well, see, my approach would be totally different going into this game. I would be like, no, Calvin really has to prove to me that he can be the but everything's running through the DK on some of those gadget speed sweep type deals. No, Calvin, really, you stay outside and see if you can play outside receiver this game.
Yeah. I mean, DK just needs to be in the slot and be used is what I'm saying. Don't forget, I feel like this team has, over the last 2 seasons, we saw it with DeAndre Hopkins
and Calvin
Ridley.
They can't get 2 or 3 guys involved.
They can't get them involved.
In the same game.
You need to. You have to be efficient, right? Sometimes you don't have the plays because you go 3 and out. But you have to start getting DK involved as well as getting Ridley involved, as well as getting Gunnar Helm and Chick. Got to get everybody their touches. Feed everybody.
They don't have a counterpunch.
Yeah.
And that's been a struggle. But also, again, I don't want to draw or make unnecessary criticisms of Cam Ward, but Cam Ward also has to see it and rip it keep the offense fluid at this point in time. There are throws that he's missing. There are throws that he doesn't make. There are some throws that he does and some where you're very impressed, and he probably has 1 or 2 wow plays a game where you're looking around and be like, all right, there is the talent that is worthy of the number 1 overall draft pick. But on aggregate, I mean, his time to throw against the Chargers was 3.15. Like, that's a suicide mission, a football suicide mission behind an offensive line like this, where, I think Dan Moore is Dan Moore. Like, he's what you paid for when a free agent left tackle became available. Has he been perfect? Was he great against the Broncos? No. But he is, on aggregate, been reasonable relative to expectations.
He's an average starter in this league.
He's an average starter in this league.
Against the elite guys, he's going to struggle a little bit, and then against the average guys, he'll do
But if
decent.
you are asking these offensive linemen, no matter what their pedigree or caliber or paycheck is, to pass protect for 4 and 5, and against the damn Rams, 6 seconds in some situations, you are asking for trouble. Cam has to find ways to be more situationally aware.
And they have to give him some outlets. I mean, I think Mike McCoy has done a good job of giving him outlets underneath. And I do agree with what you're saying. Cam Ward does have to speed up his process and take the easy outs and all that kind of stuff.
He's still playing at a college pace.
Yeah. But I would say Brian Callahan, there was a lot of times where he had nowhere to go with the ball because they were sending 4 deep, 5 deep. So he's got to be able to take what is given to him, and they got to be able to help and give him some stuff to take those underneath routes. And hopefully maybe the bye week provided some reflection for them to do that. And
him.
Work on him. Yeah. And him. Like I said, I would go and lean into the run game. The whole thing is that they have to be able to sustain drives. And part of that's going to be one of the key things that we need to watch today is they spoke pretty highly of how Lloyd Cushenberry has started to be further removed from the Achilles. I haven't really seen it, but that's what they said. I think J.C. Latham has improved since coming back from the hip. Can Dan Moore just be average today? Can J.C. Latham keep trending upward? You need these tackles in this offensive line to play well today, especially not just in the pass game, but in the run game, because if we want them to establish the run, they're going to have to establish the run blocking.
Yeah, I think they should do a little 2 tight end sets out here, slow those defensive ends down, quick passing game, run the football. Man, it's easy game plan as far as what you need to do because you know what your faults are. And to me, they go out here and play like they can. Oh, we got 2 good left and right tackles. We let them go 1-on-1. Okay, then you're going to get your quarterback killed, or he's going to throw a bad ball because he's under pressure, under duress. Or he's going to feel like he feels pressure where he needs to actually step up in the pocket and throw the ball.
Your average NFL team can line up and play. This is not your average NFL team. This is
not on defense, for sure.
Certainly not. So there are certain limitations that they have to be cognizant of. And we have talked to coaches about this since Brian Callahan got fired, and there has been acknowledgement publicly about, yes, we're reconsidering this, yes, we're reconsidering that, and then when we get to the game, the actions don't take place, or maybe the game gets out of hand and they're not, maybe they thought about it, but now they're not able to. I don't know. There's a variety of different situations for why they are or have struggled as badly as they've struggled. That's not to excuse any of the reasons that they've been so poor. But it's not like they haven't acknowledged that they are deficient in some of these areas. It's that the execution it's non-existent.
Well, that's the big thing. Efficiency, execution, it should be the mantra for today.
Well, one thing I can say, though, guys, on a positive note, hey, the team plays hard. I know that, but at some point, some guys are going to start like, dang, man, and you start going through the motions. That has not happened yet.
All right, play the Michael Irvin clip to get everybody excited. Can you do that for us?
Michael Irvin. Playmaker?
Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house, take your meal, do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.
Titans money line. That's what we're going with. What are you going to do? Nobody believes in the Titans, but I do. What are you going to do about it, Tennessee Titans? So
what's your score?
I'm going to go 21-20.
Buck?
16-0.
Oh.
Texans.
24-21. Texans.
All right. I'm the only guy at the station to pick the Tennessee Titans.
They come close to get us excited, and then they tease
there you
us.
go. All right. That will do it for us. This has been the Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff. Lee Company, all you need, visit them online at leecompany.com. This is Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff.